Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Nur Ramila Binti Kamal Arifin. I am from HM2403BA. My matric number is 201943S762. Today, our group will be presenting the food establishment we choose, which is McDonald's. We are going to discuss on how those organizations strategize to maintain the environment. And now, I will discuss the introduction of the organization. I guess people know about this branding, right? It is one of the biggest fast food restaurant chains in the world. McDonald's, or also known as McD. It has over 35,000 establishments in more than 110 countries. The headquarters is in Oak Brook, Illinois. This establishment provides fast food like nugget, fries, and their signature is burger. The restaurant was started in 1948 by brothers Maurice and Richard McDonald. This food establishment is practice self-service, where in return it is removed the need for waiter and waitress, since the hamburgers were prepared ahead of time, packaged and warmed under heat lamps, so customers got their food easily. Then, seeing tremendous promise in their restaurant idea, Kroc offered to launch a franchise program along with McDonald Brothers. He opened the first McD franchise in Des Plaines, Illinois on April 15, 1955, and also launched McD Company that year. Boosted by steady growth in 1965, the stock of the company began trading publicly, with the appearance of a clown called Ronald McDonald, which became the public face of McDonald's. Another products and symbols that represent the McDonald's brand like Big Mac, the Egg Muffin, Happy Meal, and Chicken McNugget, and others. The brand started to flourish locally and worldwide, expanding in 1967 to Canada, hitting a peak of 10,000 restaurants by 1988. It has become the most successful family restaurant efficiently. Stressing cheap food, fun, and flavors that appeal to people of all age. The service concept for McD is they allow use of such a small menu, labor segregation, a homogeneous commodity, assembly line technique, job grouping to allow specialist skills, which all added to the customer shielded functional concept. The product undergoes several quality controls during processing to ensure that it meets the high quality aspect of production. In addition to thrilling games and music system, the company has developed internet facilities in store in order to draw attention of teenagers and increase the quality of service. There are also special places like kids, for example, like this, in which they can play while their parents eating. Next, McD uses different promotion and publicity methods to engage with the right crowd, for example by using billboard, flyers, bus terminal, and many more. As the world's most famous food chain, McD loves its clients and its employees. The organization assumes that clients will be represented adequately by a highly skilled and happy employee.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Ashatul Adabia binti Ramli. I will continue with strategies of organizations on environment issues, which is McDonald's is one of the world's largest fast food chains that have been critiqued by environmentalists with many problems and issues. Hence, McDonald's care about the problem, and then they have find several strategies on environment issues, and at the same time, it still can give benefits to their company. So, for the first strategy that McDonald's does is by avoiding using plastic bag for their services. It is because there are pretty frightening statistics about plastic bag that we all take for granted every time we buy something. The Earth Policy Institute has estimated that around a trillion single-use plastic bags are used each year worldwide, which means that up to nearly a couple of millions plastic bags has been used every minute. And in addition, plastic bag also can take 500 to 1,000 years to degrade and to release all the toxic chemicals in the process. And when McDonald's decided to avoid avoid using plastic bag in their service company, they can also help in less the pollution. As we know that plastic bag is something that very light, so it is easy for us to carry everywhere and easy for us to throw everywhere we want. So for the second point is McDonald's aim to reducing greenhouse gas emissions to limit all the environmental burden. Greenhouse gas come from animals agriculture, which are methane and nitrous oxide, which means it is affected on global warming higher more than carbon dioxide. The third point is by avoid activities that can lead to deforestation. Deforestation refers to decrease in forest areas across the world that are lost for other uses such as agriculture, croplands, urbanization, and business industry like McDonald's. So for the example, McDonald's often buy meats from privatized farm, which is it is for their burger supply. And next is the strategies that McDonald's do is by avoiding packaging waste. McDonald's need a lot of packaging for their foods and beverages, of course. And then, for example, it is they need a wrapper for the burger, for the box, for fries and fried chicken, a bag for food purchase, and a cup for their drinks, and also a straw. And that lead to environmental issues. Besides, McDonald's also decided in less using plastic straw in their services, which is research shows that among the 9 million tons plastic waste that enters in the ocean annually, straw has contributed 2,000 tons, and McDonald's also contribute in that. So they decided to purchase for those who only eat at their restaurant only. Lastly is McDonald's avoiding the use of plastic cups for their beverages, which means they will change the plastic cup into other cup that can be recycled, such as paper cups. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, now I will discuss about what made this implementation on environmental strategies. First and foremost, McD eliminate deforestation. What meaning by deforestation? Deforestation refers to the decrease in forest areas across the world that are lost for other uses such as agriculture, croplands, urbanization, or mining activities. What McD do is they're trying to reduce to use the materials that can affect on deforestation. For example, free meat, fiber-based products, chocolate, poultry, and palm oil. McD also work with World Wildlife Fund to examine the possible effect of deforestation. Then, McD promised not to buy soy ground in Amazon, as deforestation for soya farming and cattle ranching in Amazon is one of major driver for global warming. What McD try to achieve by reduce deforestation is, for example, no growth in forests with high carbon stocks, value civil rights, protect the dignity of all communities, and last but not least, through custom for plantation growth. McD are essential to expanding the traceability of the highest quantities of palm oil used in the McD's operation. McD will continue writing the deforestation free to pledge palm oil, soy, and meat. Okay, next, McD reduce single-use plastic in daily operation. So far, this implemented by McD is the biggest that can save environment. This is because if McD use single-use plastic in their daily operation, it might give a big negative impact towards environment, as plastic do not biodegrade, but they break down into tiny bits of microplastic, plus it takes thousands of years to decompose. McD redesigned its packaging from this to this with sustainable materials. Nowadays, McD packaging for food is using paper bag. For example, they stop using polystyrene film coffee cup and replace with paper-based cup. While for food, they use of box and use cardboard material. Plus, they also introduce a new strawless lid where the innovations is where they launch new fiber lid made from certified sources for cold drinks. For example, the franchisee has removed all lids and straw from cold drinks for dine-in and takeaway customer. Next, McD minimize waste by selecting a sturdy loop-created cup, for example, like this. This is where customers inquire for a reusable coffee cup and return it to be washed and reused at McD restaurant. Another implement McD do is to save environment is by switch plastic utensil to wood utensil. What has implemented by McD is one of the good role model as well as has bring a big positive impact towards the environment. Finally, McD practice 3R, which these 3 R's mean reducing, reusing and recycling. Besides, they also save national environmental resources and electricity for landfills. In addition, the 3 R's would use land and money to saving societies to dispose of garbage in landfills. McD implement new plastic program, which means the program is about recycling. It uses recyclable materials for its napkins and paper packets, while for Happy Meal containers, they use recycled cardboard. This food establishment used to deliver orange juice in ready-to-serve containers to their restaurant. Plus, it is also shipped frozen concentrate, which cuts the packaging of orange juice. Besides, in cardboard tubes, soft drinks were delivered as syrup, where the syrup is now supplied by trucks that inject it directly into the restaurant receiving tanks. Next step that McD do to practice 3R is cooking oil reusing from fries to full McD trucks. McD organization gather and recycle used cooking oil into biofuel. For example, McD use their own used cooking oil to fuel their delivery truck. They also partner with their packaging supplier like Harvey and Neste to close the loop between used cooking oil and petrol for truck. McD also joint venture with Ford Motor Company to recycle coffee cup. Until being formed into headlamp casings, the recycled cup is heated. Transforming the coffee cup into residue helps Ford to manufacture components that are 20% lighter than the conventional content. McD also looking at using coffee cups to make new products where to discover the best way to scale up recycling and produce better recycled content. That's all from me. Thank you for giving me your attention.
Assalamualaikum, my dear Jazz. I am Nurai Najwa. Today I will continue the presentation about the importance of environmental strategy and McDonald's collaboration with other association or agency. In this slide is the importance of environmental strategy. First is the cost reduction in McDonald's. By implement the efficient equipment, LOV, which is low oil volume fryer, is an inefficiency to less cooking oil and hence to the environmental benefit in using this, it can reduce oil consumption into 40%. This reduces the cost of buying oil and can reduce the unpleasant smell to the environment. Secondly, is to adopt fluorescent low consumption like this can save the 11,000 kilowatt-hour of electricity in each year. It can reduce the cost of paying bills. Toward environment is in reduced use of land of fuel production, power generation, and transmission and distribution. Secondly, is to reduce the waste toward organization and environment. There has a 2 point of reduce the waste. First is reduce the volume of packaging. McDonald's replaced the polystyrene foam or bag plastic to paper for packaging. This made up 90% positive improvement toward environment. If a lack of a recovery will impact in creating litter and pollution. Lastly is to reduce the waste of plastic. In Japan, McDonald's has made innovative in recycling the plastic toy into a tray. This can reduce on making tray by plastic material. Next is a protect flora and fauna habitat. The action of a McDonald's toward environmental strategy can help in protect flora and fauna habitat. McDonald's banned to all their franchises by using a plastic material which using a plastic bag, plastic cup lids, and a plastic straw. In this method can help to pollute the environment, which can lead to prevent plastic material from entering ocean and harming wildlife, especially sea turtle. Lastly, the reduced greenhouse gas emission. In help reduce the greenhouse gas, McDonald's will not offer many specific on burger beef to reduce the emission from beef. As known, McDonald's is one of the largest buyers of beef, which can influence the beef producers to emit more greenhouse gas. It is important to reduce the global warming for decreased outdoor air pollution and benefit to human health. Okay, and the next slide is the collaboration McDonald's with other association or agency. First is a collaboration with Environmental Defense Fund (EDF). The project that McDonald's and EDF have worked together is to phase out its iconic polystyrene clamshell food containers in an effort to significantly reduce its environmental impact by cutting solid waste. The initiative eliminated more than 300 million pounds of packaging, recycled 1 million tons of corrugated box to reduce waste. Next is a McDonald's has a collaboration with the Conservation International. One of the projects is collaboration in launch a special Happy Meal promotion. This is to engage the knowledge to work kids in a fun and informative way about the protecting the environment. Next project is a develop sustainable fisheries guidelines. This is to help the supplier monitor the condition of the fisheries supplying the McDonald's system. And lastly is a collaboration with World Wildlife Fund (WWF). Collaboration this more is the focusing on sustainable sourcing across the beef, chicken, coffee, packaging, palm oil, and a fish show that McDonald's is working to address sourcing impact. Next is a re-upping commitment on the packaging and waste reduction by offer to the guests a recycled packaging. This is to increase the recycling and composting and support cleaner communities. Okay, thank you. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Jess. My name is Nur Atika Betty Nus from HM2403BA. Right, I will continue to present about the topic of other relevant issue. Okay, as we know, McDonald's all over the world has implementing saving environmental to save the earth. Okay, either in Malaysia or outside of Malaysia. In this topic, I have discovered that McDonald's all around the world is take part in managing environmental. Okay, as for overseas, I took an example of Chicago. Okay, Chicago has transformed their 5,000 outlet out of 14,000 into a new eco-friendly store. They open up a store more to like Apple Store than fast food restaurant. That is because McDonald's is getting a modern makeover that reinforce the company of recent eco-friendly initiative. Okay, this is like their new experience of the future. The McDonald's goals is to want the experience to overall be a little eco-friendlier than the current model. But the restaurant also offer a table service, ordering kiosk, better use of mobile apps, and more than 73 at the ground level. Okay, meanwhile, in Malaysia, McDonald's Malaysia has announced that their target is to open up 200 green restaurants by 2025 as it parts of its commitment toward long-term sustainability efforts. Okay, for example, like Go Green restaurant. Okay, I took as McDonald's branch in Seti Alam, which is its fit with green technology solutions such as solar photovoltaic roofing, indoor light emitting diode light, thermal solar water heater, rainwater harvest system, smart thermos, and hybrid air conditioning system. And by doing this, a McDonald's restaurant has reduced overall power consumption by 25%. That can save a lot in regarding of environmental issue. Okay, the second one is first truck that use biodiesel as an alternative fuel. Okay, another Go Green strategy used by McDonald's Malaysia is also introduce the truck which transport the raw materials from warehouse to the kitchens uses biodiesel that
contains 15% constituent from processed cooking oils in McDonald's Malaysia restaurant. And by doing this collaboration, Malaysia get the chance to achieve its carbon emission reduction target. Okay, the next one, number 3, is roofing system integrated with solar photovoltaic. Okay, this system works by converting the sunlight to electricity, such as the solar photovoltaic that is installed at Setia Alam McDonald rooftop has a capacity to generate about 14 kilowatt. This generate power is used for the restaurant on consumption, hence reducing direct energy consumption from the utility. Okay, the next one, number 4, is thermal solar water heater. Okay, this system absorb heat from the sun to increase the water temperature. Since it is using the heat from the sun, this reduce the uses of electricity. And as for the McDonald's restaurant, this thermal solar water heater which utilize solar energy to heat up water. So they install this equipment to able generate saving about 6 kilowatt per hour per day. The heat water is then used for sanitation purpose in the restaurant. Okay, the next one is hybrid air conditioning system. A solar hybrid air conditioning system is adapted for converting waste heat energy into useful heat energy. Okay, this technology applied by McDonald's Malaysia, they can measure the temperature in the room, and they can adjust the temperature accordingly. In a nutshell, the all ongoing initiative in Malaysia and around the world are in line with McDonald's global vision of creating a positive impact on the communities, societies, and the planet by using all the environmental strategy, which is McDonald's global approach to sustainability. Alright, globally, McDonald's is pushing use of environmental issue in a big way, leveraging the scale and the size of McDonald's business around the world and collaborating with millions of customer, employee, franchises, suppliers, and other partner for impact. Okay, though McDonald's is still largest over-the-counter quick service food restaurant in the world. And in order to implement the strategies effectively and successfully, I noticed that McDonald's have taken so much initiative since years ago to manage environmental well, and in this way, McDonald's organization believe that they can drive change so they can become tomorrow's standard.